Now at 9, Missouri property owners who haven't paid their taxes risk losing it in a statewide tax sale next week.
Property assessments and property taxes. Two topics planned for the upcoming Missouri legislative session, following a controversy.
If your child is heading off to college for the first time, make sure they add this important item to their to-do list. I'm Connor Hansen in New York with the details coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Property owners around the state of Missouri who have a tax delinquency of at least 2 years may soon see their property up for sale. This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. KOAM's Anthony Saviello speaks with the Jasper County Collector about an upcoming statewide tax sale that takes place in just over a week.
If you've seen something similar to this on your property, it may be time to take action.
This is a sample. We give notice it's going to be in the tax sale, and the tax statement itself will be over here. And it gets posted on the property. And you're really not supposed to remove it unless you pay the taxes.
Jasper County Collector Steve McIntosh says property owners don't have much longer to get caught up on delinquent taxes before their property goes up for sale.
It's in the statutes of the state of Missouri that all counties have to have a delinquent real estate tax sale on the 4th Monday in August at 10 a.m. That's what it says. And so that's what we do.
If your property is purchased at auction, you do have another opportunity to keep it.
It's not the end of the world for them. They have a year to redeem it. Now, redemption requires them to pay everything that the certificate of purchase holder paid. If the taxes were $500 and the bid was $10,000, they have to reimburse the certificate of purchase holder the $10,000. But if it goes for $10,000 and it's a $500 tax, it doesn't mean they've got to come up with $10,000 out of their pocket as a rule.
But whether you're looking to buy or looking to keep your property, the time to take action is now.
If they can afford it, come in and pay their taxes. If they pay by the end of Friday, it won't be in the tax sale. End of Friday of, what'll be the 22nd. Now, if they pay by end of next Friday, it won't be in the tax sale. That's their best plan of operation.
In Jasper County, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
Those interested in bidding on properties that will go up for sale must also pre-register before Friday, August 22nd. Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us now with a first look at weather.
Well, definitely turned out to be another hot one for us today, and in fact, it gets a little bit hotter as we go through the next few days. Really Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, very consistent, high temps into the upper 90s, but that humidity is going to be there. So we're going to have that heat index 100 to about 105, so that's why we're hitting that low criteria for a heat advisory. A little bit of rain possibly Tuesday into Wednesday, which will definitely hopefully help us out just a little bit. It's been so hot, it's so dry out there. We've had a few clouds kind of skirting through. Besides that, pretty calm as we go through the night. Let me take you into Friday morning. We're about 73, 74, 75 degrees. It's hot, it's humid during the afternoon. I think most of us 96, 97, 98 degrees. We're going to do this through the weekend, but we will talk about some rain chances here in a bit.
Thanks, Doug. Well, the property value assessment process is expected to be a topic in the upcoming Missouri legislative session. 80 counties were informed by the Missouri State Tax Commission they're out of compliance with the state law and they needed to raise property assessment values. But as Missouri State Representative Dirk Deaton tells KOAM's Samantha Walker, he's looking for reform to stop requests like that in the future.
Counties all across the state of Missouri sent out letters to residents this year, informing them their property assessment values were going to go up. The State Tax Commission says these increases, most between 10 to 13%, are an effort to get counties back into compliance. State law requires county assessors to list property values within 90 to 110% of market value.
But again, what's market value? I think what the State Tax Commission might be saying is market value, looking from Jefferson City versus if you're on the ground here. Again, I don't think it's as clear as one might try to make it.
Some assessors, like Cheryl Perkins in Newton County, have refused to raise their valuations by the requested amount.
The cost of living is going up, our utilities are going up, our insurances are going up, and we just can't afford another huge increase.
In response to assessor refusal, the State Tax Commission voted to withhold assessment maintenance funds, more than $100,000 in Newton County alone. Perkins says even her job is at risk. Now the commission's actions are drawing criticism from lawmakers like Missouri State Representative Dirk Deaton, who serves Newton and McDonald County.
Especially when a state bureaucratic entity, the State Tax Commission, unelected bureaucrats are trying to force and push elected county officials to raise these assessments. That's where I felt it was really inappropriate, and we've got to take a closer look at that.
Representative Deaton says he's now looking at reform that would put the power of determining assessment values and the percentage they go up to county assessors.
Bureaucrats would try to tell elected officials who are elected for the sole and express purpose of assessing properties how they should be assessing those and what market value is. They're the ones elected to do that. They're in the best position to do that. And if the people feel they're doing an inappropriate job of them, they have the recourse of electing somebody else.
The Newton County assessor encouraged community members concerned about these issues and how they may impact their homes to reach out to lawmakers. Representative Deaton says he's heard loud and clear from his constituents.
There's incredible outcry from the people, and I think we can all understand why. People are getting priced out of their homes. They've worked their entire life, they've paid off their mortgage, and now their property tax and other things are pricing them out of their home. That's not the American dream, that's an American nightmare. So we got to do whatever we need to make sure that people are protected.
Reporting in Southwest Missouri, Samantha Walker, KWM News.
Representative Deaton says he's also working on legislative reforms that would target increases to property taxes across the state. He says he wants to file a bill to allow counties like Newton and Jasper County to have the option to vote to freeze property taxes on their primary residence. Wichita State University Tech and the Career and Technical Career Center of Crawford County celebrate a new partnership with a ribbon cutting. The campus, located in Pittsburgh's Industrial Park off of North Rouse, expands tuition-free technical education and career pathways in southeast Kansas. C-Tech has operated in Crawford County since 2016, and with WSU Tech partnering, students will now have greater access to certifications, dual credit courses, and hands-on training in fields like welding, HVAC, and heavy equipment operation.
You can come here, spend 2 years of high school for free, and earn college credit to get a college certificate and a high school diploma at the same time and join the workforce, living a quality life.
Since opening, C-Tech has served more than 1,000 students and awarded over 1,100 industry-recognized credentials. Well, coming up, new threats for Russia.
President Trump issuing a new threat to Russia ahead of his peace talks in Alaska Friday to end the war in Ukraine. I'm Lucas Tomlinson in Washington. I'll have the details coming up.
But up first, heading to college means taking charge of your own health. We've got tips to help students manage care, prescriptions, and mental wellness on campus. Mercy Hospital announces a new partnership with Children's Mercy in Kansas City. They hope to bring expanded pediatric services and specialized care to Southwest Missouri. Children's Mercy will manage Mercy's hospital-based and specialized pediatric care starting this November. They say this will strengthen the coordination between providers and improve access to care for children.
For certain specialties that we don't provide in Springfield, you have to travel 2.5 to 3 hours for even a clinic visit sometimes, or if they're in the hospital, depending on the duration of their stay, they may have to stay in that city for quite some time. And that takes parents away from their jobs, it takes families away from their care networks, and now they can get a lot of that within Springfield.
Children's Mercy specialists are already providing care in Springfield with expanded outpatient services in cardiology and support for neurology. Under the new agreement, Children's Mercy will provide management for pediatric services like surgery and the intensive care unit. Well, yesterday, President Trump signed an executive order to replenish the critical pharmaceutical ingredient reserve. The order directs the Department of Health and Human Services to create a list of 26 essential drugs. HHS then has to obtain a 6-month supply of their components, preferably from a domestic manufacturer. Many active drug ingredients are made abroad, notably in India. Back in 2020, Trump created the Strategic Active Pharmaceutical Ingredients Reserve to help shore up the nation's drug supply chain amid the COVID-19 pandemic. As first-year college students get ready to head to campus, they have to make sure they have their books, decor for their dorm rooms, and a plan for their health care. Fox News correspondent Connor Hansen takes a look at what young adults should know about transitioning from your pediatrician before going to college.
It's a time of transition for many young Americans as they head off to college. That includes taking their health care into their own hands.
We really need to make sure that we have a plan to transition away from our pediatrician, to make sure that our medicines are easily fillable at local pharmacies, or even to make sure that, depending on our specific health, that we can see doctors and specialists wherever we're moving to a new city.
Finding care and navigating prescriptions for the first time can seem daunting. While many colleges and universities have student health services to access vaccines, care for basic injuries, and STD screenings, family medicine doctor Zachary Bittinger says students with more complex medical histories should seek a local doctor before they get sick or need medication. Since young adults can typically remain on their parents' insurance plans until age 26, exploring that coverage on the carrier's website is a great place to start.
You can find doctors in a variety of specialties, including primary care. And that way you can at least make sure that your visits will be cost friendly. And then it's about making sure what else we need. Do we need specialists? Do we need our medicines refilled?
Being on their own for the first time, students should be prepared for silent risks on campus, including substance use, sexual health, and of course, mental health.
Understanding the local resources for student health, for accessing your counseling, especially televisits for many people, is a sustainable way to keep a relationship that you really benefit from. But also understanding the expectations that are coming up from your various classes, or understanding the social situations of having a roommate potentially for the first time.
To set students up for success, Dr. Bittinger recommends establishing a plan for everyday health, including eating right, exercise, and sticking to a sleep schedule. In New York, Connor Hansen, Fox News.
Well, Doug is next with a complete look at your forecast. And later, wholesale prices are climbing faster than expected, and businesses now face tough choices on whether to pass those costs to consumers.
Visit.
Well, of course, hot for you Thursday. Partly to mostly sunny skies for us today, and we have pretty much clear skies out there right now. And that's what we're going to see as we go through the night and into the daytime hours on Friday. But it is Thursday, and on Thursdays, our drought tracker always updates. Now, it does take into account the rain we had on Sunday and Monday, but we've dried out a bit over the past 3 weeks. Not a bad drought situation at all. Kansas, Oklahoma, most of Missouri look pretty good. It's a little crispy though. Cherokee County down toward Commerce, Neosho, Joplin, Monette, a little bit drier once you get down toward Table Rock Lake, but for mid-August, seeing a drought tracker like this is pretty good news. I know your grass is crunchy, but the soil is doing pretty good. All right, by morning, 73 to about 75 degrees. As we go through the morning hours, already lower 90s by noon. Once we get into the afternoon, 96, 97, maybe a 98 out there. Tomorrow night, calm, warm, sticky, muggy, mid-70s to kick off your Saturday. Saturday afternoon, 96, 97, 98 degrees, very slight chance for an isolated little shower popping up. Saturday night, very consistent, back into the mid-70s once again. Here's your Friday day planner. 75 to start, 93 by noon. High temp, 97 degrees during the afternoon. It's what we get for the weekend. Pair of 97s, heat index about 100 to 103, 105 in spots. So what that means is with the humidity, it's just going to feel that kind of mugginess. And look at our dew points. We're like low to mid 70s. So what that means for you is it feels muggy to soupy, and that's why we have that heat advisory as we go through the next few days. Heat index on your Friday, again, we're talking consistency, 102 to 104, 105, 106 in spots. Saturday, heat index again, 102 to 104, 105, 106 across the region. This is all due to that big dome of high pressure, that heat dome across the region. In the summer months, it usually keeps us hot and it keeps us dry, and it's going to stay on top of us through the weekend. We are also tracking Hurricane Aaron looks like it's just going to miss the eastern seaboard as we go into early next week. For us, high pressure shoves west, allowing one or two waves to get in as we get through the middle of next week, hopefully cooling us down just a bit. Not by Sunday, 96, 97 degrees. Monday, 97, maybe 98 degrees, maybe pushing 100. Something we have not done this summer, which I am definitely okay with. All right, 97s next few days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 98 as we get into Monday. A little bit cooler Tuesday and Wednesday, and then highs of 90 by the time we get to next Thursday and Friday.
All right, thanks, Doug. Well, up next, on the eve of his summit with Putin, President Trump warns of a very severe consequence if no ceasefire is reached.
Sign up now.
Key new data shows costs rose sharply for producers and manufacturers last month. It's a potential sign that higher prices could soon trickle down to American consumers in the months ahead. Ivan Rodriguez breaks down the latest numbers from the Producer Price Index and what it could mean for the larger economy.
The prices that businesses pay for the stuff you buy is heating up. The latest Producer Price Index, which measures the average change in prices paid by producers over time, jumped 0.9% from June, lifting the annual rate to 3.3% according to Bureau of Labor Statistics data.
On today's data, it looks like wholesale manufacturers on things like machinery are really struggling with tariffs, and so it's going to be that kind of detail going forward that's going to help us determine where prices are getting higher.
Thursday's readings far exceeded economists' expectations for prices, rising by just 0.2% in July and 2.4% annually. Earlier this week, the Consumer Price Index for July showed that falling gas prices limited the average price consumers were paying overall, but that goods affected by tariffs kept getting more expensive.
The CPI print, that's more backward looking than this data. This tells us how producers, how companies are thinking about pricing going forward. So it's more of that forward looking data, and it's painting a picture of prices going up.
Ultimately, economists believe businesses will have to make a decision whether to pass down the increased costs they're facing to the American consumer. It's a decision Stu Leonard Jr., president and CEO of Stu Leonard Grocery Stores, says he struggles with.
The retailers don't want to raise prices. We're sometimes get choked a little bit by what we are allowed to buy it at and what we have to retail it at in the store.
In Atlanta, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
Walmart workers are getting a new perk, lower grocery bills. The company announced it's expanding the number of products that are eligible for employee discounts. That includes previously excluded items like milk, meat, frozen pizza, and pasta. And now 10% employee discounts will apply for nearly all grocery products. Officials say extending the price benefits for non-clearance items has been a long-time request from staffers. More than 1.5 million people are employed by Walmart in the U.S. Well, later, the Community Foundation of Southeast Kansas is turning its annual Match Day into Match Week to give residents more time to support local nonprofits. The Community Foundation of Southeast Kansas is expanding its annual Match Day fundraiser into Match Week from November 10th through the 14th. For the past decade, Match Day has helped raise over $1.9 million to support local nonprofits and community organizations. The week-long event aims to make it easier for community members to participate and provide funding to important causes across Southeast Kansas.
It's truly humbling each year to see the support that our community provides and how much they care about our local nonprofits. It's just fantastic to see the support that comes in, the dollars and the number of donations. So to some people, giving a small amount is as much as somebody else giving a large amount, but everybody wants to support those who are doing great work in our community.
Local organizations who receive Match Week funds include the Miners Hall Museum Foundation, the Pittsburgh Public Library, and the SEK Humane Society. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. Fort Scott debates whether to keep a crucial half-cent sales tax to fund key city project. That's coming up. And the high-stakes summit between President Trump and Vladimir Putin could mark a turning point in the war in Ukraine or escalate tensions even further.
The Big Bang Theory
are only at Roper Honda.
You're watching the 4 states' most watched news.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. A crucial conversation unfolds about the future of local funding in Fort Scott, Kansas. Tonight, community members packed the Empress Event Center to weigh in on whether to keep or eliminate a half-cent sales tax that's been in place for the past 4 years. As KOAM's Lonnie Walton reports, city leaders, including the city manager, say the tax is essential, helping to support key projects like engineering upgrades, new equipment for first responders, and more.
I came out this evening because I am completely ignorant of this topic and I came to be informed.
Karen Elizabeth is a Fort Scott resident. She, along with her community members, are currently paying a half-cent sales tax. But she wants to know, is it worth it?
I want to know what it's spent on, how successful the expenditures have been so far, and some accountability as to whether we were over budget, ran under budget, were those good projects, are they projects worthy of being continued?
Mayor Tim Van Hookey says the community needs this tax.
Everything from parks to, of course, the road work that's been done in this historical town. You don't have enough time unless I'm taking over your 6 o'clock hour.
City members say this sales tax will help first responders, parks, and more. But residents say,
I would keep the tax that we have for the streets. If we break the question down, I would probably vote against the other two.
Controversy from even before I moved here a year ago, April, about the bricks and whether or not they should be continued, how much cost it is required to refurbish those as opposed to just your usual asphalt.
City leaders say 80% of the tax will continue to fund streets in Fort Scott.
Our old asphalt or brick covered with asphalt or the brick roads that we're looking at right here in our historical downtown, so there's always going to be a lot of work to be done.
He says this tax is necessary regardless.
Oh, it would definitely have a detrimental effect, not that we would give up.
Reporting in Fort Scott, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Now, Fort Scott residents will vote on the half-cent sales tax in November. A judge in Illinois denies Texas's plan to enforce civil arrest warrants for the absent Texas House Democrats. Some of the Democrats had flown to Chicago in an effort to stop a plan to redraw congressional districts. The redistricting could give Republicans a 5-seat advantage in the U.S. House. The judge says his court did not have the jurisdiction to do what the Texas Attorney General, Ken Paxton, wanted. The Democrats appear to have stopped the new maps from passing in the 30-day special session, but Governor Abbott said he intends to call a new special session on Friday. Well, we are just 1 day away from President Trump's meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. It's Putin's first trip to the United States in a decade. The two are scheduled to meet in Alaska tomorrow to discuss a potential peace deal. But as Fox's Lucas Tomlinson reports, tensions are rising as the war rages on.
The question going into tomorrow's summit is whether these talks will lead to a peace deal, given it's been 3.5 years since Moscow launched its full-scale invasion, and Putin has shown no sign of stopping. Russian soldiers continue their offensive in eastern Ukraine, capturing 2 more settlements in the Donetsk region. Ukraine striking back, hitting an oil station in Russia. This as President Trump, just 1 day away from what he hopes will mark a turning point in the war, issued a new warning to his Russian counterpart should their meeting end without a ceasefire.
There will be, I don't have to say, there will be very severe consequences, yes.
European leaders on a call with Trump, including Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, urging the U.S. not to make any peace deal without a ceasefire first and with Ukraine at the table.
There can be no negotiations about Ukraine without Ukraine. And that's been a long-standing principle of this group.
Trump says if his meeting with Putin goes well in Alaska, there could be another very soon.
I would like to do it almost immediately, and we'll have a quick second meeting between President Putin and President Zelensky and myself if they'd like to have me there.
Vice President J.D. Vance, visiting American troops in the U.K., talked about what it would mean to end the war.
We are going to make it our mission as an administration to bring peace to Europe once again.
As part of any peace deal, Zelensky says Russia must return all of the Ukrainian children kidnapped over the course of the war, estimated to be in the tens of thousands. In Washington, Lucas Tomlinson, Fox News.
Well, Doug is next with a complete look at your forecast, and later, Joplin teachers get a warm welcome back for the new school year with cheers and a reminder they're all part of one team.
For the arts.
Well, of course, hot for you Thursday. Partly to mostly sunny skies for us today, and we have pretty much clear skies out there right now. And that's what we're going to see as we go through the night and into the daytime hours on Friday. But it is Thursday, and on Thursdays, our drought tracker always updates. Now, it does take into account the rain we had on Sunday and Monday, but we've dried out a bit over the past 3 weeks. Not a bad drought situation at all. Kansas, Oklahoma, most of Missouri look pretty good. It's a little crispy though. Cherokee County down toward Commerce, Neosho, Joplin, Monette, a little bit drier once you get down toward Table Rock Lake, but for mid-August, seeing a drought tracker like this is pretty good news. I know your grass is crunchy, but the soil is doing pretty good. All right, by morning, 73 to about 75 degrees. As we go through the morning hours, already lower 90s by noon. Once we get into the afternoon, 96, 97, maybe a 98 out there. Tomorrow night, calm, warm, sticky, muggy, mid-70s to kick off your Saturday. Saturday afternoon, 96, 97, 98 degrees, very slight chance for an isolated little shower popping up. Saturday night, very consistent, back into the mid-70s once again. Here's your Friday day planner, 75 to start, 93 by noon. High temp, 97 degrees during the afternoon. It's what we get for the weekend. Pair of 97s, heat index about 100 to 103, 105 in spots. So what that means is with the humidity, it's just going to feel that kind of mugginess. And look at our dew points. We're like low to mid 70s. So what that means for you is it feels muggy to soupy, and that's why we have that heat advisory as we go through the next few days. Heat index on your Friday, again, we're talking consistency, 102 to 104, 105, 106 in spots. Saturday, heat index again, 102 to 104, 105, 106 across the region. This is all due to that big dome of high pressure, that heat dome across the region. In the summer months, it usually keeps us hot and it keeps us dry, and it's going to stay on top of us through the weekend. We are also tracking Hurricane Aaron. Looks like it's just going to miss the eastern seaboard as we go into early next week. For us, high pressure shoves west, allowing one or two waves to get in as we get through the middle of next week, hopefully cooling us down just a bit. Not by Sunday, 96, 97 degrees. Monday, 97, maybe 98 degrees, maybe pushing 100. Something we have not done this summer, which I am definitely okay with. All right, 97s, next few days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 98 as we get into Monday. A little bit cooler Tuesday and Wednesday, and then highs of 90 by the time we get to next Thursday and Friday.
Not looking forward to that heat. Well, still ahead, the Chiefs get an update on a potential suspension for wide receiver Rashee Rice. We'll have the details. And the weather may be hot, but it isn't stopping high school football teams from practicing. We're going to preview the Lamar Tigers and Monette Cubs up next.
You're invited.
The Lamar Tigers have built a dynasty over the last decade and a half, winning 10 state championships since 2010, and they enter this year as the reigning back-to-back champs. Similar to last season, the Tigers feel like they're being doubted after seeing several seniors graduate and coaches retire. However, Lamar is using the outside noise as motivation and are focusing on the guys that they have in the locker room.
We lost a lot of really good players last year. We lost a lot of really good coaches, to retirement and things. So, a lot of people think that we're going to take steps back just because we've had some subtractions by graduation and retirement, but our motivation is to prove all of them wrong. I've just seen what our program can do with kids. I've seen how our kids work. I've seen how they develop. I've seen what the off season is and kind of what that turns into come fall.
It's a real big motivation because, there's a lot of people that doubt us. It's hard not to go talk to somebody who thinks we're going to do something good, but if you talk to anybody here, we all think we can do something. So,
as the Tigers gear up for the season, the emphasis is to take it week by week. Lamar's philosophy is to learn from each practice and each game. But the most important aspect for this season is to stay in the present.
It's going to take a consistent reset is what it's going to take. It's going to take us putting whatever happens on a Friday night, good, bad, ugly, put it behind us, read the scouting report on Sunday, and get better come Monday, and have that mentality throughout the week. That's the only way to do it. You cannot have a rear view mirror outlook. You also can't be looking too far forward. You have to focus on where you're at right now.
Lamar kicks off the 2025 season at home on August 29th against McDonald County. The Monette Cubs redefined themselves a year ago, embracing the program's storied history with a new head coach. As the Cubs enter year 2 under Ben Mock, they're eager to build upon last season. KOAM Sports' Ben McLeish has the story.
Just 2 seasons ago, Monette football didn't win a single game.
Taking over after an 0-10 season, the morale was down. Guys didn't know how to win. They didn't know how to train to win. They didn't know how to prepare themselves to win.
Now, second-year head coach Ben Mock is trying to change that, bringing a winning culture to Monette.
I think the biggest thing about Monette football is that there's just a rich history of tradition and excellence in the football program.
3-time state champions, 19-time conference champions. Cubs football has defined the town for decades, and the Monette community is all in.
That's one thing we were missing. We were missing our community, and I feel like right now our community is much more behind us than they really ever have been.
Looking up at the stands and seeing everyone cheering on when we score is just a great feeling.
Last season, the Cubs won 3 games, a big jump from their winless 2023 season. But now, Monette has its sights set higher.
I'd like to win a lot of games.
The Cubs returned 14 varsity players from last season, 7 guys on each side of the ball. But they'll have their work cut out for them in the Big 8 Conference.
We play in one of the, I believe, the toughest football conference in the state of Missouri, so we're going to have our hands full week in, week out, but we're excited for the challenge.
Ben McLeish, KOAM News.
Monette opens their 2025 season at home against the Nevada Tigers on August 29th. Chiefs training camp wrapped up yesterday with the regular season rapidly approaching. On Thursday, Kansas City received an update on a potential suspension for wide receiver Rashee Rice. The Chiefs' star receiver is expected to have a disciplinary hearing with the NFL on September 30th due to his involvement in the multi-car accident back in March of 2024. This opens the opportunity for Rice to play in KC's first 4 games of the season, and arguably their toughest stretch, facing the Chargers, Eagles, Giants, and Ravens. In July, Rice pleaded guilty to 2 third-degree felonies and was sentenced to 30 days in jail, along with 5 years of probation for his role in the accident. That's your sports. We'll have more after this.
Joplin schools come together for the Rah Rah, a pep rally to get excited about the upcoming school year. Ty Parks has the story.
With the fanfare they deserve, Joplin teachers are welcome back to the 2025 to 2026 school year.
It's exciting. It kind of gets energy going for the new school year. It's fun to see all the friendly faces that you haven't seen all summer. So yeah, just kind of get you in the mood to get ready to teach, welcome the kids on Monday or next Wednesday.
Teachers from across the district come to the Joplin High School Performing Arts Center for the Rah Rah.
Really impressive. I mean, Joplin is a big school district, and to see what it takes to teach these students and all these great individuals coming together, it's pretty awesome. And it's cool that the high school can bring everybody together and have a place to facilitate this Rah Rah event.
During the Rah Rah, exceptional teachers and staff are honored.
I feel like Joplin has provided so many resources to help teachers feel successful before the school year starts. So I'm excited. I feel like this is going to be a good year.
Students from different grades read essays about their hopes and dreams, all of this to keep up with the Joplin School motto.
One team, one vision, all in every day, to emphasize what that means for all of us in our work, and to remember, when we have the students on stage telling about their aspirations and what they want to do, whether they were, high school students or elementary students, I think it touched home about how important our work is every single day.
In Joplin, Ty Parks, KOAM News.
The Joplin public school year begins next Wednesday. Up next, Backstreet's back. Charlie Sheen tells all, and Timothy Chalamet chases ping pong glory. All this and more in Hollywood Nation. Backstreet Boys have news for fans looking to ring in the new year with them and a first look at a Charlie Sheen documentary. It's all in today's Hollywood Nation with Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
Timothy's table tennis teasers, Sheen shares all, and Backstreet's back in the Hollywood Nation. Backstreet Boys added 7 dates to their sold-out Sphere residency into the millennium, and it'll take them into 2026. The shows run December 26th through January 3rd, with a New Year's Eve performance included. General sale for the new dates starts August 22nd.
Shame is suffocating.
Netflix announced AKA Charlie Sheen will premiere September 10th. A trailer features Sheen saying he's ready to tell his story, along with interviews with family, friends, and castmates. The 2-part documentary follows his upbringing, rise to stardom, public downfall, and journey to sobriety.
These are extraordinarily complex young people.
Also in today's First Looks, the streamer debuted a trailer for the book-to-screen drama Steve with Cillian Murphy. Set in the 90s, Murphy plays a head teacher fighting to save a last-chance reform school while dealing with his own mental health. The film is in select theaters September 19th and on Netflix October 3rd.
Anyone out there? It's an emergency.
Emma Thompson and Judy Greer lead Dead of Winter about a grieving widow who discovers a young woman kidnapped by a couple at a remote cabin, becoming her only hope of survival. The thriller is in theaters September 26th.
Hello.
Hey, it's Marty Mauser.
A teaser was released for Josh Safdie's Marty Supreme. Timothy Chalamet plays Marty Mauser, a man with ping pong champion dreams in pursuit of greatness. It also stars Gwyneth Paltrow. It's in theaters Christmas Day. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
That's our time for tonight. Thank you for joining us. We're going to leave you with video of iguanas and snakes at a restaurant in Malaysia. Have a good night and an even better tomorrow.